In the world where we have YouTube, getting automobile reviews are a lot easier nowadays. And there are a lot of automotive reviewers who review a few cars a week, and they definitely have a lot of experience with different vehicles coming from different manufacturers. They typically spend a few hours or a day with vehicles, and some also get a chance to spend a week in one. Some will also buy the vehicle to do a long-term test. Unfortunately, automobile reviewers can only provide things that they don't like or things that they like based on their experience and the available time they spent with the vehicle. I'm not here to say that they are bad or wrong, but want others to know that people who can tell you what is good or bad is really the owners of the vehicle who drive it as their primary vehicle every day. In this video, we will walk through the big 5 problems Consumer Reports said about the 2022 Lexus NX. Hey, it's LSFT here today, and today we're here to talk about an article that I found on the web talking about the 5 big problems with the 2022 Lexus NX. This article is an article by Motor Biscuit, but they also got this report from Consumer Reports. So overall, the Lexus NX is a much better SUV than the first generation and even earned a recommendation from Consumers Report. And according to Motor Biscuit, they said that there are 5 big problems with the 2022 Lexus NX. And as an owner of a 2022 Lexus NX, and I own the plug-in hybrid, I would like to add my 2 cents to what they've claimed as big problems. One thing I want to justify before that we start looking at the 5 issues is that, again, this is my personal ownership experience, and this is my views of the 5 big problems, and you personally may have experienced the problems, and you may agree with what Consumer Reports say. And I'm always welcome to have that feedback. But again, this video is just to talk about what I've observed based on the 5 issues that they have raised. So the first one is annoying to use and find electric door releases. So according to Consumer Report, they did say that there's a slight annoying delay between pressing the button and when the door can actually open. As an owner, I have never experienced the case where I press the lever and the door never opened, or that there is a delay. That every single time I press the button, the door pops open and I can open it. I think I would have opened the door many times, more times than Consumer Report has, throughout the ownership of this vehicle. So I'm not sure what they had was a pre-production or that there is actually bigger expectations that the door will just open much faster. Another item about the door locks is that they said that it's hard to find at night. I'm not sure about that too, because as part of the illumination package, the door lock is actually lighted up. So you would be able to see where that door lock is and easily go and press that button. And it is quite intuitive where you put your hand onto the door rest and you'll be able to use your thumb to open that door. But I do agree that the locks do take some time to get used to, especially if you have guests who have never sat in the new Lexus NX before. I have seen, and as an example, that my sister-in-law was trying to pull the lever and didn't press the button, and thinking that, oh, the door will open. But after I've told her that, oh, you just need to press that button, she was easily able to open that door. It definitely does need time to learn, and it becomes a talking point when you have guests in your car. And I don't see this as an issue that I would consider as a big problem. And I have seen many reviewers saying that Lexus is just designing something that never needed a redesign. But I always think that in this world, you always need to do something different. You always need to advance technology, and you just can't satisfy the current situation. If that's the case, then we will never improve as human beings. So, as long as you explain to your guests how to get in and out, it's actually very intuitive. And I have noticed myself pressing the same spot on other vehicles that I'm in. And when I try to get out, and it's like, oops, nope, that's not how I open the door. And you pull the lever of another vehicle, right? So there are other cars out there that also have similar type of electronic locks. And I find that this design is actually the most intuitive. So the second problem they're saying is the visibility problems due to the small windows. The first generation NX and this current generation has similar window sizes, and I don't see this as an issue. If you look at your blind spot, and you would be able to see that you have a vehicle right beside you. And with the LSS 3.0 Plus, the blind spot monitoring, it also assists you to do a double check so that you can actually see that, oh, is there a vehicle that you did not see, or vice versa. Some people don't even look at the blind spot and just rely on the blind spot monitoring, which I highly do not advise. So, and again, the next thing they actually said is also the rear view visibility is an issue. The window is small. But again, the previous generation had the same small window and also had the same thick roof pillars. And if you actually have the optional digital rearview mirror, which actually gives you a wider view of what the window you can see out the window, it actually works quite well. And some people will actually say that that digital rearview mirror is not good and they actually cannot focus on the mirror. It's unfortunate, but as an owner of one, I actually love this digital rearview mirror because I can actually see much more. I don't care how tall the person is that's sitting in the unfortunate middle seat, and it actually does help a lot. Then the third one is a difficult to use gear selector. This one's interesting because this gear shifter is not something new, something that Lexus or Toyota have used in their hybrids for a long, long time. I actually own also a 2015 Lexus CT, which has the exact same shifter. And all you need to do is shift over to the left and down for drive. You shift over to the left and up for reverse. You shift over to the left and hold, and you'll get neutral. Again, once you get your vehicle, you will need to learn how to use it once, and then you will know how it operates. I'm not sure why they would say that this is a big issue, and they're saying that it's not clear that this is how the gear selector diagram doesn't show how to use it. I did notice that it is a bit smaller, but it actually works quite well. And now the fourth one is the long stopping distance for the hybrid Lexus NX models. So, based on their test results, the gas-powered NX needs 127 feet to have a complete stop, and 138 feet on wet roads. But for the hybrid NX, it takes 138 feet on dry roads and 152 on wet roads. I haven't tested this myself as an owner, but I'm aware that regenerative braking does actually cause the extra space needed to stop. And it really doesn't matter what car you drive. You should never be following cars that are right in front of you, just like bumper to bumper. I personally have stomped on the brake a few times to stop on a yellow light, and the car was able to stop where I expected it to stop. I did not see any issues that, oh, it took longer than needed. However, it's good to know that there's limitations of your vehicle, and that you need to maintain necessary distance in case of any emergency braking situations. And I also assume that the car has this emergency braking situation, and coming from a Lexus and Toyota, it's quite conservative, and it should be able to handle the 152 feet stopping distance, even when you have like ignored the braking that beeps in front of you. And it's important that you do know that your car will take a little bit longer to stop. And for some folks, this may be a big problem. And in some ways, I do agree that it could be a big problem for people who like to follow cars closely and really want to push them to move faster. And the last but not least, the fifth problem that they were talking about is the touchy and spongy brake pedal for the hybrid models. And again, number 4 and 5 are all related to hybrid vehicles. So if you're picking the 350 or the 250, you only have 3 big problems and not 5. So the spongy and touchy brake pedal. So this is similar experience to number 4, I would say. Like, how does the brake feel? And it's all related to the hybrid. And they're saying that there's a non-linear sensation with the brakes. So when you touch the brakes, it feels that it's not doing anything. So then you press harder and then suddenly you get the jerk, or it suddenly stops much faster than needed. And as an owner, I can tell you that I have noticed that at the beginning, early stages of owning this vehicle. I always feel that when I stepped on the brake, it actually did not stop. And then you press harder, and it does stop a little bit harder than expected. But then I don't know why this happened, but after probably I would say the car has broken in, I have started to not notice this issue anymore. So I'm assuming that Consumers Report tested the vehicle when it's brand new. The brakes are not probably broken in, probably they are closer to the pad or whatever it is. But over time, I have noticed that I have not experienced the jerkiness of the brakes anymore. Either I personally have adapted to the braking system, or that after breaking it in, everything started to operate as normal. So probably in a long-term test, they probably would notice that the brakes are not as touchy or spongy as they expected, like what they're saying right now. So these are the 5 big issues that Consumer Report have noted with the second generation Lexus NX. With what I see, it feels that they're just trying to find things to pick on to get a list of 5. Because if you look at it, 2 of them are hybrids. So then really the 250 and the 350 only has 3 big problems. So as you are probably an owner of an NX or potentially an owner of an NX, and mostly this is for NX owners, leave a comment below if you agree with what Consumer Report has said, or you agree with my views as an owner of this vehicle. You may also have big issues that Consumer Report have not pointed out. Again, leave comment below if you have other issues that you have with this vehicle. And I know some may have gotten a lemon and may have more issues, but these are one-offs, right? It's the first year of manufacturing issues that may need to be resolved, and I wouldn't consider that as big issues that happened across the board with all the owners of the NX. But again, I would think that potential owners would like to hear about any other potential issues. So leave comment below and we can have a nice discussion about what issues have you experienced, and probably there is other things that will lighten up and actually consider as real big problems rather than these 5 problems that Consumer Report have noted. Hopefully this video is useful for everybody. And again, this is my personal opinion and not saying that Consumer Report is incorrect. But as an owner of this vehicle for now 4 months, I have not seen really these as big problems that they have noted. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. You can also press that bell icon to get alerted when new videos are out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers.